All right, good morning. Time for some tossing. Gonna do something different. I didn't do it last year, but we're definitely trying it this year. I'm just really struggling for time this year, which is the same as every year with kids, sport, and that type of stuff. But yeah, let's get out to this toss point and we'll talk a little bit more about what we're about to do. So what we're going to do is bring them back now to 7 kilometres after they've been tossed quite a bit at the longer distances. And what we're going to do is bring them back to 7. This is part of the brainwashing method that I didn't trial last year. Seeing the birds are actually doing really well and they're in the best condition that I've ever had pigeons, due to probably the brainwashing and utilising a lot heavier barley feed and trying to avoid the falcons as much as I possibly can. We're going to bring them back to 7 kilometres. I've got safflower in the trays, something a little bit naughty for them because they do like that. And then we might split them. We've got 3 baskets, so we might release them separately into 3 smaller groups. We have just been tossing in one big group. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is that the first group will come through, the falcon's going to get into position for those, and normally misses them because they're coming through so quick, but he's going to turn around and most likely see 2 other groups coming through, and the last 2 groups may get touched up. So we'll see. Like, it's pretty early. I have found that here where I am, especially in this 20 kilometre kill zone that I'm in, this absolute nightmare is where I lose most of my birds, that if we toss quite early like now, just as the sun's sort of coming up, we're not really getting any hits in the tosses if the birds clear quickly and move, which is good. I'm thinking because all the other birds that falcons are feeding on are moving at this time. It's just come daylight. There's a lot of other birds moving around that the falcons are sort of watching, and I think it gives that small window for my birds to get through, which has been working pretty well. That the only tosses when my birds have been hit are ones where we've done, say after 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, that type of stuff. So in that period where I think all the other birds have sort of settled down as much for the day, moving around and sort of just hanging around the trees, because that's where we've had the most of a hit. So just another theory that I'm working on, but we'll see. Let's get these guys out to the point. All right, so we'll let the first basket out. I would say there's about 40 pigeons, 38, 40, so it's going to be, you'll see they're pretty small groups, so we'll see how we go. I'm not going to give them a huge gap in between because I've got kids sport to get to shortly, so we'll get the first group out, pretty small, wait for them to clear, and then we'll go bang bang, get the other ones out. But they are moving. You can see how quickly these guys locked us straight into it, no mucking around. And they should clear in a second, hopefully. All right, those guys have cleared, which is good, definitely far out of sight. So let's get the next lot. There's definitely a few more in that one. Oh, they went that way this time. Odd. All right, second lot's cleared. I can see them getting the wriggle on back that way, so let's get the last lot out. Oh, there's it. Looks like there's even more in that lot. All right. Well, who's in that group? They're already gone. That's what I like to see. They're already heading home. Okay, so I wish I knew who was in that lot, because they are obviously the leaders. The question you're going to ask probably, why am I doing this? And the theory behind this is that we split them into smaller groups, and it kind of gets them used to coming back in smaller groups and trying to give them all that confidence to be like, you know, more pack leaders, so to speak. And you can see in that third group, the last one, whatever birds are in there are the pack leaders. They were out of the basket and they didn't even circle. They were just like gone. So they will definitely catch up to the other groups. So hopefully, if they all get home safely, we'll do it a bit more. It is quite heavy fog, but it seems to be working. I haven't, and I don't fully understand the whole brainwashing technique. It's quite complex, but I'm just picking out the basics of it to help me get past this falcon problem. Now, because I can't loft fly pigeons anymore to get that fitness into them. I can't loft fly them at all. These birds here don't loft fly. They just sit in the loft, in the basket, out to toss points and go. So the brainwashing technique uses a lot of barley, and that try and keep the weight down on them as well. So when they're in the loft, they're not getting too heavy. And that was a problem we were having last year. The birds were too heavy, and trying to get them out after the molt up in the air in the prime falcon seasons, they just didn't stand a chance. They were just too fat, and the falcons were just too fast. And that's not a good recipe there. So the theory now is just we bring them back to the short ones, heaps of short ones like this, smaller groups, and they'll race home. We've dropped their feed back a little bit. The birds are in like really good condition. I handled them all before I put them in the basket, and there was probably 3 that I might just focus on and pull them back a little bit, that were slightly lighter than the rest, but like minimal. Still significantly better than any pigeons that I've raced before. So I'm hoping that we can get in good enough condition, still ready for the race, fitness wise, and we'll see, because it's not only a couple of weeks away, like 2 weeks. So we've just got to try and keep them in this condition. That's what we're trying to do. And now we're just working on their brain to get them, even if they're by themselves, to come home quickly as possible and trap. And this is what these smaller groups aid with as well. So I'm hoping they're all home in the loft by the time I get home. All right, I actually did beat them slightly. We turned up at the same time. Looks like they all caught up together anyway. Come on. So just 2 circles, see how quickly I want to go in. I'm not going to whistle them in, I just want to see. They're moving pretty good. I don't want to whistle, ideally, because the odd chance, like last year I was inside making lunch and I had birds come back from the race. I want them to come in pretty quickly. All right, so that's not too bad. Let's get these last couple in. It's that little naughty one, I'll tell you what. Come on. Come on. Hey, you guys are a little bit slow. I did feed them quite a bit yesterday, actually, though. Come on. Come on. Come on. Not too bad at trapping for not whistling them in. I did for the last ones to get them in quickly, but the one thing I didn't do was actually open the 2 doors into the other sections, and they know that if they can't get to the food, they're not going to trap super quickly. So I'll try that again tomorrow, but remember to leave those doors open so they get in really quickly. Otherwise they just sit on the landing board or in that first section. I've got my little naughty pigeon here too. So normally I would just get rid of a pigeon like this that we can't break in, but he is out of my best birds. And the theory is I want to try, because I know if I put him in a race, he's going to be one of the first birds home. So I just want to test this theory. I probably won't be able to clock him, but what I'll do is just out of curiosity see if these naughty pigeons can do it. So I'll just put him in the basket, see how he goes, because I know he's going to come home from every race. That's just how these things work out. He's an absolute pain in the butt, won't go in, but he'll be the first one back from a really good race and probably even a fed topper and not trap. So we'll see. I just want to test that theory. It's going to be interesting. Okay, so I didn't end up getting them back out again. It's time to feed them. I've got some top pigeon rings turn up as well, so that's another job we need to do. But time, man, time is just getting away from me. It's really struggling to get the fitness into these birds, because obviously this weekend I was hoping to get a lot of tosses done, but just didn't happen. I got like quite a lot of the kids now, and they took up most of the time with sport and stuff like that. But the birds are looking really good. We're about 2 weeks away. In a week's time I have to go in for like a minor operation, so it's going to put me out of action for a week. So I'm hoping we still make the first race. We're still, like, I'm in a good enough condition to actually basket the birds and be able to drive. So that's going to be touch and go, but we should be able to make the other ones pretty well. I just really got to get the time and effort into these birds. So I eat my toes, it's dinner time. So we'll see how we go, but the tossing is definitely working. Just really need to put a bit more time into getting a few longer ones in for the season, which is it's literally under 2 weeks away. So it's getting exciting, but also stressful. So hopefully the birds are ready. Head over to Pigeon Racer TV, because we've done a pretty cool little, podcast type thing with a few other pigeon YouTubers, which go down to the link in the description. You have to see this for yourself. Won't give too much away, but 3 different countries talking about a whole bunch of different ideas, which was pretty interesting. So I'll see you in the next video.